Welcome to our next class, Chemistry and Biological Process. The last class we studied about nucleic acids, and in this class also we are continuing some portions of nucleic acids. And in the last class we studied about the structure of DNA, the structure of nucleic acids, etc. And here the topic we are going to discuss is the structure of RNA, that is ribonucleic acid, the structure of ribonucleic acid. And in DNA, there are two strands, but in RNA, the main difference of RNA from DNA is that RNA consists only of a single strand, while the DNA consists of double strand. That is, RNA only one strand of polynucleotide is there. And also, like in DNA, this RNA has also got a helical structure. You can see here in this picture, this is the structure of RNA. There is only one strand. But in the last class, you studied about the structure of DNA. And in the structure of DNA, there are two strands are there. This helically two strands. But in RNA, only one strand is there. And also, the constituents of RNA are sugar, in nitrogen base, and a phosphoric acid. In DNA also, the constituents are sugar, nitrogen base, and phosphoric acid. And the difference is that in sugar, in RNA, here it is ribose sugar is there. But for in DNA, deoxyribose sugar is there. That is why that name DNA, deoxyribose nucleic acid. And here RNA, the name is ribose nucleic acid. That means sugar is ribose unit. That's the main difference in DNA, that is deoxyribose sugar, and in RNA it is ribose sugar. And also phosphoric acid is the nitrogen bases are there. In nitrogen bases also there is one difference, and in nitrogen bases in RNA are adenine, guanine, cytosine, and uracil. But in DNA, the nitrogen bases instead of uracil, here it is thiamine. That is the difference. So, the structure of RNA, it is a single strand of polynucleotide. It has also got a helical structure, and the constituents of RNA are ribose sugar, nitrogen bases, and phosphoric acid. And in nitrogen bases, adenine, guanine, cytosine, and uracil are present in RNA instead of DNA. In DNA, it is thiamine instead of uracil. That is the structure of RNA. And the next is the different types of RNA and its functions. And the main function of RNA is protein synthesis. Here it is written. The main function of RNA is protein synthesis. And there are three different types of RNA, and these all RNAs will help the different stages of protein synthesis. And the first type of RNA is messenger RNA or mRNA, and the second one is ribosomal RNA or rRNA, and the third one is a transfer RNA or tRNA. And in messenger RNA, like the name itself, it carries the message of DNA for the specific protein synthesis. That means it carries the message from DNA to the site of protein synthesis in RNA. That is the why it's called messenger RNA. That means the messenger, it acts as a messenger. That is messenger RNA. And the next one is a ribosomal RNA or rRNA. And the role is that it provides a site for protein synthesis in cytoplasm. That means it helps to find a site for protein synthesis in the cytoplasm. That is, protein synthesis is taking place in cytoplasm. So this ribosomal RNA provides that site for the protein synthesis in cytoplasm. That is why it is termed as ribosomal RNA or rRNA. And the next one is a transfer RNA or tRNA. That means, like the name itself, it transfers something. We can see that it transfers the amino acids to the site of protein synthesis. That is, it transfers, it is transferring this amino acid. This protein is made up of amino acids. So, this it transfers this amino acid to the site of protein synthesis. That is transfer RNA. That is three types of RNA: messenger RNA, ribosomal RNA, and the transfer RNA. The next one is the functions of DNA. The DNA is dealing with this hereditary characteristics, and that genetic characteristics is transferred from mother to offspring, like that. That's the main function of DNA. We can see that this genetic information for protein synthesis is stored in DNA. So the genetic information for protein synthesis is stored in DNA in the form of a linear sequence of bases in the molecule. That is, this protein synthesis, the genetic information for this protein synthesis is stored in the form of linear sequence of bases with nitrogen bases in the molecule. And the sequence of arrangement of 4 bases is related to the amino acid sequence in proteins. That is the sequence of arrangement of 4 nitrogen bases. It is always related to the amino acid sequence in proteins. And this relationship between this base sequence in DNA and the amino acid sequence in protein is called the genetic code. I'm repeating what genetic code is. Genetic code is a relationship between the base sequence in DNA. In DNA, there is nitrogen base sequence is there, and in for protein, amino acid sequence is there. So this relationship between the base sequence in DNA and the amino acid sequence in protein is called genetic code. And this information of sequence of amino acid is transferred to ribosomes in cytoplasm by the messenger RNA. We discussed earlier this messenger RNA, that is information of sequence of amino acid is transferred to ribosomes. So the function of the DNA is the hereditary character, transfer of hereditary characters, and is in this slide we are discussing what genetic code is. That is, genetic code is a what a relationship between the base sequence in DNA and the amino acid sequence in protein. That is called the genetic code. And the next one is a triplet codon. Triplet codon means for genetic code, this a triplet codon is needed. Triplet codon means actually it is a three code, that means three nucleotides is required to code one amino acid, and that such sequence is called triplet codon. Here it is example CGA, GCU, GGX, etc. That means C means it corresponds to cytosine, G corresponds to guanine, A corresponds to adenine, etc. This a sequence of three nucleotides is required to code one amino acid. This sequence is called triplet codon. Here there is three nitrogen bases. Three nitrogen bases. Here it is representing guanine, cytosine. Here it is guanine, cytosine, uracil. So it is called as triplet codon here, since there are three nucleotides. So three nitrogen bases are there. So it is called a triplet codon. And the codons which determine the same amino acid is called the degenerate codons. For example, sometimes different codons, different triplet codons will code for one particular amino acid, and like that, that types of codons is called degenerate codons. The word degenerate means same energy. So if different codons are coding for a particular amino acid, so we are call it as degenerate codon. And like that, DNA sequence that codes for specific protein is called a gene. You heard about what gene is. Gene means that is a DNA sequence, like this DNA sequence that codes for a specific protein. That is called a gene. So it is very important what gene is and what triple codon is. The next one is the process, main important process, that is replication of DNA. Actually, this replication means is a process by which a single DNA molecule produces two identical copies of itself. That is called replication of DNA. That means a single DNA is split into two identical copies of DNA. That is replication. Here we can see. Here it is a DNA, that is a helical structure, double stranded helical structure is there. This first part is a complete DNA, and here this DNA is rewinding up. So it is splitting into two portions, two single strands. Like in RNA, here it is one single strand is there, and another single strand is there. Then we can see that in this single strand, it is written as nitrogen bases are there, that is adenine, guanine, like that. Here it's also what thymine, cytosine, thymine. You in the last class you studied about what base pairing is. That means adenine always base pair with thymine, guanine always base pair with cytosine. So here we can see that guanine, cytosine, that pairs thymine, adenine, like that. So here it is splitting into two different strands, and here we can see that another strand is forming complementary to the existing strand. That is, replication process is going on here. Here it is splitting, and here it is again second strand is formed. Then how the second strand is formed, just see. Here it is adenine. So this in the next in the newly formed strand should be a complementary strand. So if adenine is present in the parent strand, then the complementary nitrogen base, that is thymine, is present. Here also to adenine a complementary base thymine is present. Here it is guanine, so a complementary base cytosine. Here it is guanine, so complementary base cytosine, like that. So a complementary strand is formed here. That means the newly formed strand will be complementary to the original strand. That is the peculiarity of replication of DNA. That is, in other words, we can say that parent DNA is split into two daughter DNAs. So this is a daughter DNA. This portion is a daughter DNA. In daughter DNA, one strand will be that parent strand itself. Here also a daughter DNA is formed, but one strand is that parent strand itself. That means some one strand is always preserving for this next generation DNA. That is, in daughter DNA, one strand is from its parent itself. So this mechanism is called semi-conservative method. That is, replication of DNA is called as semi-conservative method. So here I am writing the points of replication of important points of replication of DNA. That is, replication is a process in which a single DNA molecule produces two identical copies of itself during cell division. That is the definition what the replication is. And here in this process, two strands of DNA separates partly into two strands. And also each strand now serves as a template for the synthesis of new strand. And due to the unique specificity of base pairing, new strand will be complementary to the template strand. And in DNA replication, two daughter molecules are formed, and each daughter molecule has one new and one parental strand. Thus, in each daughter molecule, one parental strand is conserved. Therefore, DNA replication is called a semi-conservative method. And in the last slide, here it is, I'm writing the difference between RNA and DNA. It's very important. This RNA, ribonucleic acid. In the ribonucleic acid, the sugar present is ribose, and in DNA, the sugar present is deoxyribose. And in RNA, the nitrogen bases are adenine, guanine, cytosine, and uracil. But in DNA, there is adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. Instead of uracil, here it is thymine. And you know that RNA is a single stranded and DNA is double stranded. Okay, thank you.